7 o'clock, and the board has been in executive session and work session upstairs. So we're ready to reconvene into our regular session. So if you would, start our session by joining me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. And I do need a motion for the approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Any commentary? Seeing none, Mr. Bevan, please call the roll.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Abachi?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
5-0.
And we move on to item number 5, superintendent's presentation. Dr. Cooper, take it away.
All right, thank you so much. We have a great evening planned for everyone that is here in person and tuned in. The first thing that we do each month is we highlight something in the district to help people make meaning out of all the great things that are happening in the comic culture. And we call this our Wayfinding video. So I'm going to turn it over to Tracy Carson to talk a little bit about our Momentum Wayfinding video this month.
Yes, our January Wayfinding video really showcases a Mason moment that honors a cherished legacy, bringing our Mason Elementary students and senior neighbors together in meaningful connection. Several years ago, we closed Western Row Elementary and made a promise to our community at that time that the senior citizen breakfast would live on, and boy, has it ever, but in the very best sense of that things continue to evolve and get better with time. You'll get to see some of the gleeful, joyful things that are happening this year, and as we know, the sparks of that learning that continue to shape our young comets.
Across Mason City Schools, our journey to 2030 is guided by a shared priority: creating meaningful experiences that inspire, empower, and make a difference. Sometimes those experiences happen beyond the classroom, in moments of connection, in the way we bring people together. One of those moments came to life at Mason Elementary during the Senior Citizen Holiday Breakfast, a school-wide peak moment that reflects our district values in action. 3rd and 4th graders welcomed senior neighbors and Golden Comets for a morning filled with warmth and gratitude. Guests enjoyed breakfast from the Mason Grill, sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Mason, along with Don Francisco's Coffee and festive poinsettias from Bay Soar's Flower Shop. Each table featured custom placemats designed by our 3rd graders, small details that made everyone feel truly welcomed. The heart of the morning was the shared joy. Cincinnati Youth Choir members from Mason Elementary filled the room with music. Then came a spirited sing-along of the 12 Days of Christmas, led by Assistant Principals Kyle Litchie and Soroya Smith, alongside students and joyful neighbors. Laughter, music, connection across generations. This Mason moment is our journey to 2030 in action, showing how meaningful experiences build empathy, strengthen community, and help students see the impact they can make. Because when learning connects us to one another, it becomes something bigger. And that's the way forward for Mason City Schools.
Appreciate you bringing that story to us this month. It is a joyous time for us to be there and to welcome in our senior citizens and to watch our students, especially when they sing the 12 Days of Christmas together. It's quite a thing because they all have instruments, and it's fun to watch the smiles and laughter around the room. So thank you for sharing that moment with us. Our next superintendent presentation, this is a special time of the year, and if you're just coming to this new, every January, we press pause for a second to recognize our Board of Education and just to thank them, to show appreciation for the service that they give us. This is not something they ask for. It's not something they want. They actually would like us to just skip past this and move on to the work. But it's also a time, these are folks that give a lot of their time. So I just have a few words I want to share, and then we're going to turn it over to a special guest presentation tonight that I think you will really find a lot of joy in seeing the folks that you get to serve. So each of you give lots of sacrifice, and we know that. Sometimes you're sacrificing practices, being late to different events, or you're missing events, track meets and games and all kinds of things. And we know that because you're here with us often. And events are going on, and we know that's happening now and will happen into the future. And one of the things that I hope is true, and I think I know your kids, and I get to work with them quite a bit. And last year, if you remember, we had them sit up here as board members for a moment to run a pretend meeting while you were out. And I hope they see this, and I hope that others understand this, that when people say, where is your parent? And they say they're at a meeting, they can answer with confidence that they're at a meeting that's making a difference, and making a difference in our school system, making a difference in our community. And that matters. It matters to all of us that you show up. Whether you've been here 2 meetings already and doing awesome work already, or you've been here for over a decade, the work that you do, it does matter. And it does matter to us as an executive team. It matters to our community that you're willing to step up and have the courage to show up, go through that whole process of getting voted in, listening to people carefully, and then moving the work forward. And we just came out of a work session, and we looked back 10 years over some of the work that you've approved and you've supported over the time. We've made huge moves in the right direction for our district and delivering Mason quality, and that's because of the work you do behind the scenes. Many people don't realize that our board members are a part of 10 different superintendent committees, so they're working between meetings often and giving lots of time or on phone calls with myself and working through things, and they're just always dedicated and showing up for the right reasons. And that is one thing. If you look across the country and you look at quality of school districts, oftentimes you can point to school boards, and school boards that bring stability, that bring trust, and that bring vision for what's best for students and for staff. And so for that, I speak on behalf of our executive team here and our community, and as a dad in our community with 4 kids, 3 still in our system, I appreciate your dedication and your work. Tonight, you're going to receive a book that is in front of you. This is called The Power of Mattering. And one of the things I hope you know is how much you matter to us. And one of the ways that when you read this book, some of the things that will jump out at you, our executive team has read through most of this book together, but is that people see you and they recognize what you're doing. And I just want you to know that even though you probably don't hear a lot of thank yous, we see you. And we thank you, and we see the work you're doing, and it is making a big impact. And I know you hate that you're getting all this attention right now, but you deserve it. And so thank you so much. And we're going to go ahead and I have some certificates I'm going to give afterwards, but I'm going to turn our attention to the real reason you ran for the board, and that's our students. And this story and what happened here is amazing. So do you want to watch the video first, and then or do you want to turn it over?
You know what? Yes, let's turn it over to Henry Horning, who had a vision that you voted on and approved at Arts and Activities Council to allow a new group to form. And Henry can tell us a little bit about the musicians and the mentors that are in the room right now.
So Henry, you're on, and one of the things I'm going to challenge people to listen for, because listening with purpose is important. We are a district that believes in culture, how we do life together. We're a district that believes that inclusive excellence is the way to live life here, and that we believe that everybody's story matters, and that we try to personalize our experience. And so as you share what you're sharing tonight, I hope people can see your vision and how that connects in with our values. So it's all yours.
Yes. This year I got the opportunity and privilege to start up and serve as chapter president for a new club called United Sound at Mason High School. United Sound is a club that provides an opportunity for students with all abilities to come and play music and have a musical experience, which is something that I think is amazing and something that all students should be able to do. So we have 9 new musicians that have been working hard and just had a concert in December, as well as 24 student mentors that have helped them along their way to get ready and show off their skills to our community. Yeah, and we got a video of our wonderful concert here, but
We'll take a look at the video. That's great.
yes, that was some awesome stuff. It was amazing, and I think what's great about this program is not only the effect on our new musicians, but also our mentors, and getting to have just a new experience in music that I think everyone should be able to have, and it's a very unique one. I'm going to go ahead and have all of our new musicians come up and introduce themselves as well and say hi to everybody. So you can all come up and kind of make a little bubble back here with me. Jacob, Connor.
I'm Jacob. My name is Connor Cash here.
My name is Meja Carr. My name is Alan.
My name is Ethan.
We also had a few people that couldn't be here today as well. Ethan Vovan as well was one of our new musicians. Mandy, another one, and Charles were three other awesome people that we had to work with this year. And that was fun stuff. Yes.
Maybe we could. Any of the students who wanted to come up, I do want to take a picture at the end of the day with everybody, including all of our mentors, but if we wanted to have a few students join you, you're welcome to have a few mentors and a few musicians to come up and join for the board to say a few words.
Yep.
Henry, we're very grateful for your vision. Thank you so much for this opportunity for our kids. Yes.
Hi, my name is Sean Wesley. Some of you may know my sister, Leah Wesley. She's working her way through the school system right now. A program like this is super awesome. I'm really glad that Henry made it possible for this to happen here, and very excited to see how it grows and how we can work with as many people as we can. It's going to be really exciting to see how this grows in the next few years.
Well, I'm Kevin. I didn't really know I was going to come up here to talk. I just want to say that during United Sound, I had a lot of fun, and we definitely made a lot of strong bonds, I feel, and it was definitely a lot of fun playing with them.
Henry, I had a question. If you could walk us through, so that performance that we watched, when did that take place? And from the time that you began rehearsing to the time that that performance was recorded, what was the schedule like? What was the practice and rehearsal commitment like for all the students?
Yes, that concert was on December 10th. We started our rehearsals in late September-ish, and we kind of rehearsed just once every week during our Connect sessions, most of the time Connect time at high school, whenever we could, and we had a couple after-school rehearsals as well. We just kind of meet up. It's mostly individual peer-led groups with their mentors. It's about a 3-to-1 ratio of mentor to new musician people, and we just have fun, look at our music. Our mentors write their parts as well, so they look at what notes their new musician is able to play, compare that to whatever, like if they're a trumpet, they get the trumpet part, they look at wherever those notes show up, they write their own part for their new musicians, and then they learn it, and we get to play with the Wind Symphony, which is what you saw. And next semester, I think we're going to have 2 concerts, one with the orchestra and one with the band, so that everybody gets to play with what instrument that they're playing on.
Cool. Very cool.
Henry, first of all, we're so grateful for your servant heart and your just desire to serve your fellow students and make these experiences happen for them. We're inspired by that for sure. Could you reflect on, is there something surprising that you've learned through this experience? Like, it strikes me that it may have, for instance, made you think about music in a different way, seeing it through the eyes of somebody learning at this age to have their first experience, or just can you just reflect on what you've learned through this experience?
Yeah, totally. My favorite surprise was the amount of mentors that we got that were so willing to help and are very passionate and like excited to come to all these rehearsals, which is just a really cool
Because
experience.
I've heard that the band rehearses quite a lot here in Mason.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, just a little bit. But yeah, having a totally new experience with music is just always fun.
Yeah.
So when I was able to, I saw this United Sound group last year. The band had the opportunity to go to the National Concert Band Festival, and they had a United Sound group play there, and that's what kind of, I was like, yeah, I want to bring that to Mason.
Awesome.
So being able to just have a different and unique experience with music again is always fun.
Yeah, I bet. That's awesome. Thanks.
So you answered my question was where did the vision come from? So it sounds like you attended a program where
Yes.
there,
Yes, it was just a cool thing, and I'd been looking for something like that because I helped my dad out, who's an intervention specialist at the high school as well, with Pig Abilities, which is a running club that does very similar things at the high school. So seeing this, I was like, yeah, I want to do that.
I love it because I think a lot of people have a lot of great ideas, but to go beyond the idea and put it on paper and prepare and ask for permission and attend the meeting to get permission, I really admire that in you. Thank you for doing that. That was beautiful, just beautiful.
I'm just always so blown away by the sound that comes out of our bands, and for you to be able to bring these brand new musicians in and make them part of it and all of them to be part of this beautiful sound was really just incredible. I, like Desiree, had the same question, was where were you inspired? So this is a national program that you brought, so you have some support from a national organization, is that correct?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Good. Well, we are so grateful. This is a really incredible thing for both the mentors and the first-time musicians. I just love seeing anytime a student takes agency and jumps right in and drives a new program. So thank you so much.
Yeah, Henry, we vote on a lot of things, and sometimes it gets lost in the sauce what it ultimately ends up being. So to have you here right now to see that, thank you, right? Because this wasn't happening before. And so we talk a lot in this room about legacy work, and what you've done is legacy work that we hope continues beyond your time in the high school. So however we can help support you do that, please let us know, because that was beautiful and wonderful and enriching for not only you guys and the musicians, but for us to be able to get to see that and get to hear that. And so whatever you need, however you need, let us know. We want to support this legacy work that you've started. And so I want to commend you and thank you very much for being inspired.
And a shout out to our new musicians' parents,
Yeah.
because
Oh,
I know your lives are so busy and getting them to practice and getting them to concerts and just managing that work-child balance. So shout out to the parents that encourage their children to participate and learn and grow from this.
As a
Mr. Orr,
Yes.
we do have our wonderful performing arts chair, but also our orchestra director, Stephanie Jones here, who is, along with Mr. Jackson, been a huge supporter of this program. Stephanie, may I put you on the spot because I met with you earlier and you just talked a little bit about just what you saw too, if you don't mind, just coming, it might be nice for Henry to hear you also share just what it was like to take new music and learn and teaching. I mean, you do this as a profession, to watch young people doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I kudos to Henry. Again, I know we've been saying that he saw this and he saw the opportunity and wanted to bring it to Mason, because, without him kind of saying, let's do this here, I don't know where that would be in the future, right? So that initiative of doing that and seeking out all the information, because what's great about United Sound is there is a support system. Somebody was asking about that. There's curriculum written. I was just saying to Mr. Horning, like, how amazing for our students, the mentor students, and the new musicians to get to benefit from that. And that is all the work of Henry seeking that out and finding it. And so, of course, all of these musicians, they get to share making music together, which is something that everybody should have. Everybody should get to do that. And so my joy is just getting to see our students help each other and learn and grow and appreciate in music together. And the friendships too, because I think all of these students feel like they've got new friends, and we see each other in the hallway. I've learned names of new people. They've all learned names of new people, and we can say hi in the cafeteria or wherever, and we have this common bond to share now. So I think it's awesome.
So it's picture time. So if we want to get the new musicians and the mentors, yep, come on down.
No, this is my laptop. I just have my wellness notes up, so I just left my
No. We shake hands and handbags first. Yes. Because this is the initial.
What makes it magic?
We don't find magic. Yeah. Aren't those the best shoes? I like it. It helps me with the screen. Or I just take it to like you said, just do right. And then you don't lose me. My post-it note pile, like, this has stuff in my phone. We're gonna move down, probably. I can go to I'll just stand for a minute. It's always nice, right? I gotta scoot to the back. I'm not nearly as important as y'all are. Jacob, why don't you come right over here? I don't know what you're doing right now. Cut off most of my body. All right. Behind you, okay? There we go. You're definitely going to be seen. Mr. Horning, your bicep. Go. Yeah. We're just on the floor. There we go. All right. That's great. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Congratulations. Love it.
All right. As always. Good to see you all.
It breaks it up. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Then I forget, like, then I forget, I'm like, did I just go up and incline or did I go up and speed? I'm like, hey, if you're gonna give me 0 instructions. Well,
you did great. You did great.
I know, it was expert level.
Task
As if I
accomplished.
pass things out for a living. I said, thank you so much. That was very polite.
We're going to take a pause. So, guys, take your time in getting out. We understand that you guys have better things to do with your Tuesday night than. But if you want to tune back in on ICRC, drive home safely. Gotta drive up those U's. Thank you so much. She's the best.
Worked hard for this. Thank you. Great. I showed up twice. Good job, Danny. It's always crazy. Good job. First time.
Feels good.
How's it going?
Way to be here.
Diversity Council.
I did. And Schools Foundation.
And Schools Foundation.
Which I was already doing.
Yeah.
You know what? You're done for the day. You're done for the day. right, we will get started again, and we are at item number 6, hearing of the public. And Tracy, it looks like we have a speaker tonight. And so I will read our little disclaimer before I call up our speaker and say, community participation at board meetings is limited to hearing of the public portion of the meeting. The board will not deliberate or decide any issue during the hearing of the public section. Each person is allotted 3 minutes until the total time of 30 minutes is used. In order to prevent disclosure of students' or employees' private information, the board will not allow any complaints about specific employees of the district in public section. And so with that, Mr. John Coleman, please come to the lectern.
Hello. My name's John Coleman, if you didn't hear that before. I'm a father of 3 children, 1 daughter and 2 sons. They all have the privilege of attending Mason City Schools. And tonight I'm here to speak on behalf of my sons and all the boys in the district. So the topic I'm raising may feel uncomfortable or embarrassing to some, and perhaps that discomfort's why it hasn't been addressed previously. However, I ask that the board consider this seriously, and I ask the board this question very directly. Why are there no privacy screens between urinals in any of the 5 Mason school buildings? In virtually every public setting outside of our schools, privacy screens are standard. Professional workplaces, stadiums, movie theaters, restaurants. These facilities recognize that even adults deserve private spaces and restrooms. I recently attended a Bengals game where literally dozens of men were using urinals side by side, each separated by a privacy screen. If large venues can prioritize privacy, it is difficult to understand why our schools do not do the same for our children. Adults understand and follow an unspoken code of conduct in restrooms. Eyes forward, no commentary, mutual respect. Children do not operate with these same rules. Expecting 8, 10, and 14-year-old boys to behave like fully mature adults in such a vulnerable setting is unrealistic. The absence of privacy screens increases the risk of teasing, embarrassment, anxiety, and bullying, issues this district has worked so hard to address in other contexts. This is not about modesty for modesty's sake. It is about creating an environment where students feel safe, respected, and are able to focus on learning rather than discomfort or humiliation. We have moved past practices such as mandatory group showers after gym class. Someone recognized that those practices were inappropriate and subject to abuse, and changes were made. This situation deserves the same recognition and action. Installing privacy screens is not a complicated or controversial request. It is a practical, affordable, and widely accepted standard that aligns with our district's stated commitments to student well-being. If we would not accept the lack of privacy for adults in the public spaces, we should not accept it for children in our schools. I'm asking that the board take this issue seriously and to commit to installing privacy screens between urinals in all 5 Mason school buildings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. Tracy, any additional forms? Thank you so much. We will move to item number 7, resolution. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. And so, Dr. Cooper, I think you're going to talk to us about what this transportation of
I'll
pupils.
just give, Sean will give us a quick rundown.
Sean?
Yep.
Perfect.
So according to Ohio law, school districts are required to, in most cases, are required to offer transportation to school districts that are within a 30-minute bus ride of our schools. And so Often we have several different school districts around the area that we might transport to in terms of private schools that might fit that 30-minute criteria. Occasionally, we run across a school district where that is the case. It's within 30 minutes. However, there might only be maybe 2 or 3 students attending that school. So in that situation, it might not be practical to send an entire school bus to a district for maybe only a couple of kids. And so in those situations, we have the ability to offer the parents or the families some kind of reimbursement in lieu of providing them actual transportation. So this is a resolution for a student and a family to provide their own transportation to their student. This is for the Schilling School for Gifted. And so they will do that this year, and then they can receive a reimbursement amount that's set by the state.
Thank you, Sean. Just highlighting again that public schools do transport at minimal reimbursement students that don't attend our schools to private schools. So any further commentary? Seeing none, Mr. Bevan, please call the roll.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Apache?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
5-0.
Item number 8, policy change recommendations, first readings of new or revised board policies. Dr. Cooper?
Yes, this is a first reading. There will be no action taken tonight, but if there's anyone that is watching the meeting that would like to learn more about our policy review process or any of the policies that are currently being reviewed, feel free to reach out anytime. We're happy to walk you through that process. But just for those that may be new to it, we do have a process where we work with OSBA. They have attorneys that review the legislation that's coming up. They make sure our policy language aligns with that. And there are other times where we actually make adjustments to our policies locally. So it's both driven by legislative changes, but also driven by needs of our district and language. And we, on pretty much a quarterly basis, unless there's some major changes in legislation, which happens from time to time, we go through and our team reviews the policy. I review the policy. We have 2 board members sit on the policy committee. They review the policy. Then we make the changes appropriate, and we bring it to this level, which is a first reading, and it opens up to public or anyone else that would like to read through those and ask any questions. The action will be taken at our next regular meeting, which is the second meeting in February, so it will be voted on there. Again, all of the ones that you're seeing on here today are in response, for the most part, majority of those are in response to different bills that have gone through over the last several months, and it's just taking time for those to be adjusted in our policy. Once they do get approved here, it does take about a month for those to get uploaded into Board Docs, but Board Docs host all of our policies digitally, so people can review those at any time at home. They don't need to have a login. They can see that anytime. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. We will move on to item number 9, superintendent's recommendation, personnel items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dr. Cooper.
Okay, we have 2 items tonight that we're asking for your consideration. The first is an update on the classified employee handbook revision. Dr. Blessing and our team have worked diligently to do a market review over the last 6 months, maybe even 8 months now, that we've been looking at a certain, and we do this often. So this is one group of people that are in our organization that are staff members that are classified and they have a 260 contract. We've looked at the compensation packages and compared those across the region to see what the market is, to make sure that it is a competitive salary structure. And as we did that, we one area that we were a bit out of market was vacation, when you received your vacation allocation, in terms of to get to 20 days of vacation. It took longer in Mason City Schools than it did in a couple of the other and a handful of the other districts we looked at in the market. And we've gone over this in our work session, so you know some of those details. But, and if anybody else wants to go through that with us, we're happy to do that. We've gone through this with our staff, and so this is the change to make it where every 7, 14, 21, and 28 are years of experience that there's actually a change and more access to more vacation days for our staff. So we've moved that forward, so it makes us much more competitive in the market itself. If anybody wants to go through those details, we're happy to do that. But we also made some adjustments when we made this change to do our best to right size and to make sure we had some one-time stipends that we were paying for anyone that might have missed out on this opportunity. Because when you move things and people have been here for a long time, oftentimes we have to go back, and we can't give all of those vacation days back in history, but we were able to do a one-time stipend to kind of bring people up to speed and to do our best to be fair and thoughtful in that process. And we've gone through that again with all of our employees. You'll see, the reason I mention that is you're going to see that later on in the next item, which is our personnel list. And so I'm going to walk through some of the items to highlight for you in our personnel list here. So in our spreadsheet, as you go through there, in the first section in our spreadsheet, you'll see we have substitute teachers continuing to come on. And we do have, again, I remind everybody, this year, Dr. Blessing, Mr. Messer, and crew have put together their ideas on how to best train our substitute teachers so that they are getting the same training for each person that comes on board. That's new this year. Excited that we're doing that. It helps us with safety and many other things. And then we're continuing to work on aligned experience. So when you walk in as a substitute teacher to our buildings, our hope over time is that your experience should be the same in each of those buildings. And that's not just for safety, but people feel like they're part of our community and our culture. And I give a lot of credit to our folks for doing great work with that. In Section I, you'll have certified licensed personnel, additional duties. We have intervention specialists that also step up and work outside of their contracted time to be home instructors. So we're grateful for our folks' willingness to do that. So you'll see that show up in Section I in your notes as well. Section J, you'll notice that we have some additional curriculum work. We had some change in personnel at the high school, and so Karen Young stepped up and worked with our teaching and learning group, and so we're paying to make sure that she has enough time to get ready for that new curriculum that she's teaching, because that takes time for a teacher to learn. We do have some resignations and some retirements that I will bring to your attention in Section K and Section L. There's many names on here. You'll see Jim Venemeyer is one of the names. There's several names on here. I just want to wish everyone the very best. Thank them for their service here. Thank them for, you'll see in your notes as board members, you have the amount of years that these folks have served here. It is amazing. You'll even see some of those up on our screen. We're just so grateful that folks continue to give their career to Mason community, and that's just such a blessing, and we thank everybody for their time here as well. There are some, in Section O, some certified licensed adjusted salaries. When staff members and our classified staff continue to go through additional schooling, we do make adjustments in their salary schedules, and so you'll see that represented in Section O. In Section S, you'll see some additional duties added for a couple of our classified members have been joining our health insurance committee with Sean, Bevan, and Dr. Blessing, and working with our crew to make sure that we have the very best offerings with our healthcare, and so we are making sure they're compensated for that, because that's an after-school evening commitment. We do have some additional, in Section T, some additional classified personnel resignations, and then in Section U, some retirements as well, and you'll see the number of years invested there as well, and we're just grateful for people continuing to serve here. Let's see, other highlights. I will highlight, we do have a new tennis coach. You'll see Brendan Reedy. I point that out because he worked under Mike Reed, the former coach, and he is also connected to another Coach Reedy that used to coach here, is retired now. Coach Reedy was a teacher and a soccer coach here, and this is his son. His son actually works as a teacher over in Lakota, and now coming over to be a tennis coach. So we're excited to have a new tennis coach and continue the legacy that's happening there as well. Student teachers in Section AC, you'll see student teachers. We have lots of student teachers from all around. Interestingly enough, I ran into the president of Miami University the other day. We were just happened to be in the same place at the same time. And he said, we are so grateful for you at Mason because you take our student teachers often and you send us lots of kids, and we do. We are a pipeline to Miami. So love and honor to all the Miami grads out there, and a shout out to the great partnership we have there as well. I will probably stop there for now. I think we do. I will put one plug in there. We do need interpreters. You'll see that in my 321 letter that came out today to all of our folks. We're always looking, and it's a flexible job. So if you're someone that could be an interpreter for us, and you have a gift in a certain language that maybe we don't have yet here, please reach out to us, because we would love to plug you in. It's super helpful for us when we're working with our families that we have that communication down. That's it for the personnel. So those 2 items we're asking you to consider tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. Any additional commentary?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Jonathan, thank you and your team for the thoughtful way that you go about making changes, like the vacation days, because we did it as a market move to make sure that we were in market and competitive, because we frankly lost a couple of people who cited vacation days, maybe not even to other districts, but so we needed to think about that proactively. But also, I think more importantly, I appreciate the thoughtfulness on anticipating what the impact might be for different pockets of service years and different people in our district, because it's a good intention that sometimes can have different consequences and land on different people. So just thank you all for anticipating that, working through that, and being thoughtful about it to make sure that we are taking care of all of our staff in the same way. So as best we can anyway. So appreciate that.
Thank you. And you'll see in section VB, that's where the stipends show up in that. I meant to mention that as well, but thank you. And we have done that with several groups now. So we try to go through a rotation. So we have our substitute teachers went through that same process, our bus drivers, our aides. So we try our best to continue to rotate through so that we're always being thoughtful. But thanks.
Nutrition workers?
Nutrition, yeah.
Yep. Any further commentary? Seeing none, Mr. Bevan, please call the roll.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
5-0.
We are now at item number 10, Superintendent Recommendation Action Items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Give me a jump in and just walk you through these real quick.
Please.
Is that okay? We have a few items here under section 10. The first is a healthcare agreement with support for a student specifically. You'll see that in your notes as well. Item B are 3 agreements actually, and those are 3 placements for students that have additional needs that are not able to be met within district, and so Warren County ESC works with us to make sure we get those assignments and their needs met. OSBA policy services, again, I mentioned earlier that we work with OSBA. They have attorneys and they go through the legislation and they make adjustments and recommendations to us in a quarterly update. That's that service for that you saw today in action. Item D, Circle Tails agreement. So we have 7 facility dogs now as a part of our well-being, prevention and well-being team. And we are bringing on officially tonight, or asking you to consider bringing on officially, Drizzle and Bling. Now, I will mention to you that these dogs have gone through extensive training. Their handlers have gone through training. Drizzle was actually serving today in another district that had a very tragic loss over at King's District. And our hearts go out to them. And we are also able to send our staff and service dogs over to support their staff. And so it's not only good for us as part of our well-being, but this is something that's an investment that has a overflow into districts around us. And so it's really a gift that we're able to do this. And we do have it's a 5 to 7 year service that the dogs give us here, and then they probably about 5 or 7 years to get evaluated and start to go into their retirement or retirement stage, or eligible for retirement, I should say. As item E is exciting. This is one of the main reasons we all come together to graduate. Right. 900 or so friends every year, or close to that, to send them out into the world to continue to make a difference. And so this is our agreement with Cintas Center, and it's at 9 a.m. on a Sunday again, so you'll see that date in there. What is that date? Does anybody have right in front of them?
May 17th.
Thank you, May 17th. We have that coming up, so mark your calendars at the Centos Center. It's great. Power School Agreement, we are continuing to move forward on our Power School Agreement. We've talked a little bit about why this is. Power School is the company that purchased eSchool. We are an eSchool district, eSchool Plus, and eSchool Plus is our student information system. Power School has come on and bought them. We knew that, and there's been a transition period. But we know at some point we had to move over, so we're starting to move that process over that direction because they'll no longer support our student information system, which would leave all of us in a really tough spot. We wouldn't be able to do what we do here. Yeah. We have to have a student information system. So it's essential. It's kind of the heart of all of our student data. So this is the most natural move for us at this time. And then item G is the serving line equipment, and you'll hear a little bit about this. But Eric Messer, and I think this started all the way back with Todd Petrie, but we've been looking at updating the area in the cafe here at the high school. There's specific money that our student nutrition service, they're like a business within our business. They have money that's just dedicated to their own facility updates. That's outside of our general budget, and that's what's being used here to move forward on expanding and making that a better flow in that area. I don't know if you want to speak to that now or talk a little bit about what we're doing there.
No, I think it was important that we looked at and we talked to students to get their feedback on how can we make their experience better. If people don't realize this, there are over 2,200 transactions every day in that high school, in that cafeteria. So to try to make that as quick as possible, because if you know kids, they want to get to their food and get to the table as quick as possible. So try to make that an experience that they can get to the food quicker, get back to the table and get back with their friends, but also make it more visual appealing so that way we sell more food. Business Rachel's in and has done a tremendous job with designing this and kind of it's been over a couple years. She's kind of looked at how can we make this better. And so we're excited that this is kind of a chance to get the equipment in there. The next would be the construction piece of that, but just to get equipment would be great and go from there.
And I think construction, if I remember from our facilities meeting, is we're looking at this summer coming up. May start a little bit before that, but this summer I think is where we're trying to aim for that. And we did look at, as Eric mentioned, we looked at several different models. We are going with the model that fits inside of the budget that we had. There are some other more extravagant models that were pretty amazing, including even like a outdoor area, a whole tasting test kitchen idea. I mean, there's a lot of ideas, but this is the one that meets kids' needs, our staff needs, gets all the new equipment in, and so you'll hear more about that as we continue to go forward.
Wonderful. Any further commentary?
Jonathan, I wanted to come back to the Circle Tail and our new staff members, Drizzle and Bling, for a minute. I've heard different times where we've been able to help out some of our neighboring districts with supporting, and I think the point you made is a good one, and just kind of stated a little differently. It gives us an opportunity to, kind of give our resources some training that they wouldn't otherwise have when we're able to kind of go right next door. And I think it also, for those that maybe don't have as much of the familiarity with how just interconnected we are with our neighboring districts, and when somebody experiences loss or trauma in a district next door to ours, there's a lot of families that we have employees who live over there and who live and work with families in other districts, and we have families that do extracurriculars and things in the evening and stuff like that. So when you read a story or you hear something in the news about a district that goes through loss, it's not like we're dodging a bullet or something like that. It's something that we feel too, even if it's not necessarily a member of our staff. And so having the opportunity to bless them also blesses us in a way, because we get that chance to give our handlers that exposure to an environment where communities experiencing that, and give our new dogs some experience as well too. How many dogs are we up to now?
So we're up to 7. I think 7's going to be our max for now.
When do they become eligible for collective bargaining? They gotta be getting close.
Yeah, maybe 8. I think that's what no, I don't. Right now we're at 7, and they have been great dogs. But right when they get to that 5 to 7 year mark, we do start to look at, and part of that's just because it's a lot of, if you watch what our dogs are doing every day, they look like they're just hanging out, but they're working, and they're working really hard because it's usually, they're not being pulled into every happy situation, as you're pointing out. It's people that need them, it's kids that are in crisis, they're deregulated. Today they were, as I mentioned at King's, we are known as a district. We get, when there is a loss anywhere in the region, I get a text, and then several of us start to get text after that, and it's always, is it okay if we have one of your dogs on our side or whatever, and then we start to allocate resources out there. Amy Dobson has jumped right into that role. She's a point person for us, but so just, yeah, to your point, but yeah, 7 dogs is good for right now, because every dog requires at least 3 human beings to take care and handle, and they have to go through training too. So it's the handlers that really step up to do this as well. It's not, and sometimes there's more than 3. It's just a lot of work, and it's good. It's good work.
They handle them here, but then somebody has to take the dog home.
That's correct.
Too. So that's a big investment.
And they're trained for they got to be trained for all of those pieces. We used to bring them all here to introduce you to them. I think we pulled them all in here at one time, and they get really excited to see each other because they don't usually all hang out together at one time.
I say we try it again.
We might try it again. It gets a little interesting
next
on TV.
year. That's all we want for Board Appreciation Night.
Just lots of pets.
Next year,
puppies.
we will line up.
That'd
That's
be
good.
Please.
That's a great point. But thank you. We do work with Circle Tail. That's the organization now. We have worked with 4 Paws, 4 Abilities. We worked with another one. I've lost the name, but they've all been great partners right now because of cost and logistics. Circle Tail is one that we're going to begin starting to kind of work with more often, just because it just streamlines that process a little bit more. Each dog's trained at different levels, and that level seems to be right where we are. Thank you.
Any additional commentary? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
Mrs. Batchy?
Yes.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
5-0.
We are on to item number 11, Treasurer's Report. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Bevan.
So we've got a few items for approval tonight. Items A through D are monthly financial reports for the month of November. The first item there, item A, is what we call our general fund report. So we're comparing and looking at fiscal year-to-date revenue and expense activity and comparing that to previous year and previous years, looking for trends and reporting there. Item B is our cash summary report. And so as a governmental entity, we report under fund accounting. And so we have lots of different funds that we're reporting revenues and expenses in. So this cash summary report under item B shows us what our cash balances are in each fund as of the end of November. Item C, sorry Tracy, is our checks written. And so this is just a report of each of our checks written throughout the month of November. Item D is our investment report, and so that is just again the cash reserves that we have on hand and where those are invested at, either in Fifth Third or with Red Tree as of November. Item E is approval of a new fund. And so we have setting up a new fund to receive revenues and record expenses for peak moments that are happening throughout the district. Some of those donations are coming from Kiwanis, but they may come from other places as well. And so that's what that fund will be tracking. And then item G is a report of donations that we've received from various groups and individuals throughout the community donating to different groups within the district. And so those are what we have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Bevan. As he said, we are a government entity. All of these documents are available on our website. You can see them. If you have questions about them, you can reach out to our treasurer. But our financials are reported publicly. So if you ever have questions about where your money goes, that's where you'll find it. Any further commentary? Seeing none, Sean, please call the roll.
Mrs. Timmons?
Yes.
Mr. Orr?
Yes.
Mr. Steele?
Yes.
Mr. Galvin?
Yes.
Ms. Abachi?
Yes.
5-0.
All right, moving right along to item number 12, committee reports, and it looks like we're just going to hang out over here with Mrs. Carson.
We did meet as a diversity council, and we're really fortunate to have Dr. Blessing come to share some of the thoughtfulness of one of our OKRs. That's a really important one for us, is thinking about staff onboarding. And we wanted as a council to kind of hear that process. So Dr. Blessing kind of talked about some of the wonderful things that she is doing, and then we got to see it and hear from it in action from some building leaders to really the middle school. Mr. Reuter shared kind of with a big class and some of the kind of really wonderful belonging and equity moves that they have intentionally been putting into place. And then Soraya Smith from Mason Elementary, assistant principal, talked about kind of what she helps co-lead along with LED, Liz Dooley, the way that they make sure as any new staff member comes on that they have kind of the mature vision of what Mason quality is, knowing that a lot of our staff has been here for a long time, and we have thought a lot and deeply about the way that we approach things, and we use words like mirrors and windows mean something to us, and so making sure that every new staff member that comes on board really feels that sense of belonging, feels that sense of purpose, and is excited to kind of learn alongside. Got some great feedback from our council members about that, and then we dove right into two of our main initiatives as a council. Some of our Mirrors and Windows events, which include Black History Fest, which will be up on February 26th, and March 4th, Taste of Mason. We are always looking for fantastic talent for Taste of Mason. So if you're interested in that, contact my office, 513-398-0474, option 7, or you can send me an email at contactmason@masonohioschools.com. And Black History Fest, we already have 12 Black-owned businesses ready for our Black-owned business showcase, and as well as bringing back YOLO Band, which is very loved, and much thanks to Mason Schools Foundation that continues to underwrite our food samplings for Black History Fest as well. We'll have Divine Cafe again, and you got to get food early there because it's free and it's usually out by 7 o'clock. But we have great partners of staff members and volunteers who serve that up quickly for us, including several board members as well. So,
Thank you, Tracy. We'll let you reset before you give us the update on Mason Schools Foundation.
On Mason Schools Foundation, well, that was a good lead-in, MSF, and their other major, I'll just pull my thing back up because the next piece, we're right in the middle of Reading Challenge. This is the week of reading, and next week is the week of turning money in, and it's a significant fundraiser for our Mason Schools Foundation. We did have a meeting and discussed a lot of the ways that we want to continue to use that money. And so I think just right now, if you've got an MECC and a Mason Elementary School student or a Mason Intermediate School student, we'd love. Yes, we'd love for you to have your child reading. Anyone can donate, and anyone can also volunteer. We have some really fun prizes. We have always opportunities to volunteer with the foundation, and counting the money. That's always actually a big job, and people still do send in actual money in actual envelopes. But you can also just donate online or text to give too.
Thank you, Tracy. Or you could become a gym and give every month.
That's right.
Yes.
Just very, very many ways to give to a foundation that gives so much back to the district. So thank you for that. And we will move on to item number 13, legislative update. Dr. Cooper.
You know, I guess good news again. I don't have any major updates because the action is not happening yet. Now, next week, the Senate goes back next week and the House goes back in February. So probably at our next meeting, we'll have lots to talk about. But yeah, Columbus, they're just now kind of coming back together.
we'll take the peace and quiet for a little bit.
Yeah,
We'll take it.
I was a part of a conversation on federal funds, and that's a whole nother topic, and we're watching that closely to make sure they continue to fund the things we need to for IDEA and some of our Title III. That's still, right now it's okay, but that's not guaranteed forever. So we'll continue to watch that at a federal level, but
Okay.
for state stuff, that'll come up next time we're together.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. So we can move on to item number 14, administrator commentary, or as I like to call it, around the horn. And we will start with Mrs. Carson.
All right. Well, we have Radium Girls coming up this weekend, next weekend. Our drama productions are always incredible, and don't hold out for just the musicals, because while our musicals are amazing, our drama productions are pretty fantastic too. And remember, those neighbors who came to our Mason Elementary senior program, they can also go to our Golden Comet card holders, can also get into these theater productions for free as well. That's another investment that we give to our more mature members of our community. And then I'm excited about this. I've always been excited about it, but now it hits me personally. For anyone who has a class of 2039, which means your child is 4 or 5 right now, as long as they're 5 before August 12th, it's time to come to the pre-kindergarten registration meeting, which happens right before our next board meeting, February 18th at 6 p.m. And if you go, you get a yard sign. And I was thinking about this class of 2039 Comet kid, which is darling, when you may not be thinking about it when you have a kindergartner, but these are going to be really cool at graduation parties when that kid graduates. So you want to get there early. You want to come to this meeting. You want to get your graduation sign. And if you're like most people who have a 4-year-old or 5-year-old, if you're in your neighborhood and you've noticed that, nudge that person, nudge that neighbor, and ask them to come to this meeting. It's a really good opportunity to meet Mrs. Bly and the counselors, and just to get a feel for what kindergarten looks like in Mason. So I'm excited to do it for next year for Ella as well.
This will be your first Mason
This will
Comet
be my
registration.
first Mason Comet registration,
That's
because
right.
Jacob did not start in Mason until he was in 5th grade, or 6th grade.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very excited. And then I did want to just also say, along with Circle Tail, our drizzle was actually sponsored by Love Like JJ, and Bling was sponsored by Shine Like Sable. So just continual love from those organizations who continue to just pour in to making sure that all of our students are being well taken care of.
Thank you, Tracy. 2039 seems like a very, very long time from now, and so I won't comment other than to say it seems like a very long time from now. And my child graduates in 28. So, Dr. Brennan.
I agree. Well, Henry, I'm so glad you're still here. I'm not sure why, but I'm glad you're here. Because I just wanted to say, wow, I thank you for sharing tonight, but really thank you for seeing an opportunity and taking the initiative to make it happen. What I felt tonight in your sharing, and then seeing the performance and from our other musicians who are here, was just the sense of joy and connection that United Sound brought to Mason. So thank you for that. The idea of that you could go just see something, and then say, I want to do that, and then figure out, there are a lot of steps I know beyond the rehearsals that had to have happened for you to make that happen. So thank you for that. And to our board, on our Board Appreciation Month, Mrs. Timmons, welcome to your first, regular board meeting. So congratulations and welcome, and to all of our board members, thank you. And truly thank you for investing in and creating a culture of support and empowerment, where someone like Henry, or there's so many other examples of this, somebody has an idea that aligns with our values, and the answer is yes. How can we make this happen? How can we find the resources? How can we find the support? It's really makes this a special place, and a place I feel really honored to be able to serve in as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brennan. Dr. Blessing.
Well, good evening, and I think Tracy wants to put our career launch up here. Just a plug to everyone watching, Thursday, February 19th. We're working on an agenda, so we might have a little pre-meeting prior to 6 o'clock for our student teachers and some of our candidates that we've all received some recommendations for. So we're working on finalizing that. Those would be like our kind of comment, our special guests that we know that could be our future comments. So we're starting to roll that out. So maybe a little before 6, we'll have some of our student teachers and some of our candidate recommendations. Our operations folks, we are still looking for bus drivers and student nutrition and special education and instructional aides. We probably won't be meeting with guest teachers or substitute teachers that night, really like our certified, anyone who's out there looking for a teaching job. We definitely want to see those candidates, and then we'll have a special section for our operations folks as well. So we're just starting now to put together the agenda and trying to figure it out. We had a wonderful turnout last year, over 200 folks, I think, right, Eric? So stay tuned. We'll have a lot of information on social media, on our website, and we're looking forward to seeing what our career launch brings. So as you saw, we had 18 retirements this evening. So we want to congratulate our first 18 retirements. I just want to not only touch on what we do to try to bring our comments on, but we also have a lot of comments that we want to take care of. And so January is we do a lot of wellness events in our schools. I'm not sure if you're aware or if our community is aware. We do receive dollars from our insurance, kind of a way for them to kick back some of our premiums so we can do some proactive and some wellness for our staff members. And a few of those items I wanted to highlight this month because I think as we kick off our second semester, and it's our New Year's resolutions for a lot of our staff members, I just wanted to highlight some of our really cool wellness programs for our staff members. And they really do focus not only on nutrition, physical activity, but also occupational health and just our overall staff holistic well-being. And a couple of those, the middle school is offering a nutrition reset. So they're doing a whole food bingo with some of the staff, and also a heart healthy month. So they're promoting social wellness and cardiovascular health through a new program. And with our insurance dollars, each building gets a little bit of a stipend, or not a stipend, just a little bit of a budget so they can do some incentives and prizes. At the middle school, they're doing a winter fitness challenge, and staff can earn prizes, tickets if they do an activity and earn some prizes. And also they have a nutritious lunch that they're doing for the whole staff coming up on March the 6th. At MEC, they're doing an inflammation seminar. So they've got a speaker coming to talk about inflammation. I should probably go to that. So, and then an on-site fitness. They're working on the installation of some weights and different types of bells to help teachers do mini workouts during their plan times. And they are also doing some wellness dollars as drawings as well. The high school's doing partnering with our Dream Center and doing a occupational wellness with the Coffee Club and our Comic Cafe. So that's fun. As a district, we have kicked off last week in our Performance Center. We have a sliver of time in the Performance Center that starts at 6 a.m. and lasts until 7, where our strength coordinator, Trent Smart, is offering to 40, it's a pilot, to 40 of our staff members some weight training. And so one group comes in on Monday and Wednesday, I think, for an hour, and there's 20 folks in that session, and then he does another session on Tuesday, Friday. And Dr. Cooper and I both have just gotten all kinds of feedback, positive, about how wonderful it is, what a great job he's doing. And that kind of came out of our Spark sessions. He did some Spark sessions in the fall during our PD days, and just kind of sparked some interest. And a lot of folks didn't even know about our new performance center. So it's been a win. And I definitely think at our next wellness committee, we're going to speak more about ways to continue that strength training and weight training. Sounds like MEC's already kind of jumped on that with their micro gym. And so that's great. So a lot of fun stuff going on, not only getting ready for our new Comets, but also how to support our current Comets and get them to that legacy piece, as Dr. Cooper mentioned, with our retirements. And I just want to thank the board for your time, for your talent, and your trust. And we know that your job is not easy, and we just thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Blesson. I think one board member's a 6 a.m. worker outer. Might see him at the community center.
I crashed that.
Christine.
Henry, I wanted to thank you for your commitment to service, and what I loved about when you were speaking is your careful choice of language, all abilities of honoring everything that those students bring to the table and being able to give them an incredible opportunity. And you can just tell that it's in your heart, and I'm blown away by that personally, as a parent of a child with a neurodiversity. It definitely strikes something in me. Next, I want to thank you for approving the Power School contract tonight. We're busily preparing for that to make sure that that goes off without a hitch. It's going to really help position the district well moving forward. It's just needed. We've been patching with spit and glue along the way, and we just can't do that anymore. So I appreciate that. And then lastly, just your unwavering commitment to the district, the many hours that you spend out of your heart for service too. We appreciate that deeply. And just bringing your personal and professional. So, you've all had children here, and being able to bring that lens while also you all have great, brilliant careers, and you're able to bring that mindset to just really bring that to make us better. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Mr. Messer.
So I also want to say, Henry, thank you, but also Matt, thank you as well. I mean, I know what it is like to raise a kid, and to have a kid like that, you had an important piece in his life, and so you're doing a great job as well. But Henry, man, wow, just amazing. So keep it up. I just want to say thank you for approving the renovation equipment for the kitchen. I know Rachel will be very excited. I do want to say thank you to Rachel. She has put in countless hours. I know she was doing scope work even yesterday to make sure that it was ready for the board meeting. But also just her vision and her planning along the way. This wasn't just, hey, let's do this. This has been a years in planning, years in savings to make sure we're prepared to provide our students a better opportunity, a better experience when they go through the high school. I've seen the drawings, the videos. I'm very excited to see it as well. And so thank you for doing that, but also thank you to Rachel and also Jim Voris for his commitment and work as well with us in doing that. I also want to reach out and say thank you to there's a group of bus drivers and transportation workers who get up extra early to make sure our buses are on and they're warm. Yeah. I don't think people realize how early they have to get there to do that. If it's around 15 degrees, they're going. Mm-hmm. And so they were there this morning. They'll be there tomorrow morning. We've got about a 2-week cold stretch here. I'm not going to say the S word, no. But a cool, cold stretch going here. And they don't think twice about it. They get there, they turn on our buses, they get the buses ready for other bus drivers as well. And so it's a big difference. You go pick up those high school kids and your bus is already warm. Mm-hmm. And so thank you to those bus drivers, those mechanics, and everyone in transportation who gets up and does that. That's something behind the scenes we don't see, but they do those things. And also thank you to the board for all your work. There's a lot of things that you do people don't see. I'm realizing now in this seat how much you do. So we appreciate you and thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Eric. Mr. Bevan.
So first thing, shout out to the fiscal office staff, another clean audit report this year, so appreciate all of their efforts, and I would be remiss if I didn't also thank the many other staff around the district. There's so many people that operate with some kind of accounting work, whether it's requisitions or collecting money or depositing money or in the cafeteria. There's just so many people that are involved in that, and as you can imagine, with a operating budget of almost 150 million and an all funds budget of close to 200 million. We have gobs and gobs of transactions, processes, internal controls, and the Auditor State's Office, I'm happy to report, is very thorough in their work, and so they leave no stone unturned, and so it's a big undertaking, over 100,000 transactions per year. So there's just a lot of people that have hands in that, are involved in that. So thank you to all of those people for their great work. And secondly, just thank you to our board. Really appreciate you guys and all the work that you do. You guys operate at a very high level. You're high functioning, you're professional, you ask great questions, you bring great ideas, you're always willing to jump in and work and serve. So thank you for that. I can also confirm that with the amount of time that you guys put in, you all make well below minimum wage. It's not for the money, so thank you for your hearts of service for our community. We appreciate your work.
Thank you for confirming that. Dr. Cooper.
Yeah, thank you. I think all of us just to send our hearts and love and prayers to the Kings District. And as you mentioned, that we're all connected. The teacher that did pass away was actually a student teacher here. So just all of our MECC staff, and I know that was a little while ago, but you build those relationships and you're all connected. So our hearts go out to the family. I also want to just thank, like we talk about partners and how we're all connected. St. X came over to a big event here, and that takes a lot of courage and just to show up. And they came on Friday to be a part of, I can't remember the exact wrestling duel. I didn't know it was Throw Down the Cafe. I wasn't sure what it was called, but the wrestling duel, and it's in front of all of our students. So you got all the students cheering. You're coming into this environment, you're a St. X person, a student, and you might even be a community member here. But they showed up and it was a great event. And so just a great shout out to our St. X partners and just for showing up. Really appreciate them. And that was a great event, and I think our kids loved it.
It was an amazing event.
Yeah, a lot of kids loved it, like I talked about. So hopefully we continue those kind of partnerships. Staff wellness, thank you for continuing that on. That's really important. We got to be well to be able to show up well for our kids, and I think that's just so important. I get a lot of questions about cold days. I just want to just make sure everybody's clear on this, just so it's because I have kids ask. I had text from people, "Hey, we gonna have school tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're having school tomorrow." If it's -20, we will get real serious about changing the schedule. Just to be clear, if it starts to dip into that kind of a -20 area, we get real serious. I was just talking to a colleague that's up in Minnesota, I think. Yeah, Minnesota. Dennis Peterson he was a superintendent for 53 years, and he said when it gets to about 35 below, they start talking about it. So for us, it's a different environment, but -20, so -35 there, -20 here, we start talking about that, and that's wind chill. So just pay attention to those. I have looked ahead. I am very aware of what might be around on Monday. We're tuned in. We're tuned in, people. So thank you for everybody's help. But we are there. We're tuned in. We got a lot of helpers during this time of the year. We really do. I will say before I just close up, our speaker tonight, we will definitely follow up with that. That's the first that request has come in, but I do want to make sure that we follow up on that. And I know exactly what the request is, and Mr. Messer and I will look into it. We'll even investigate the cost involved. And there are reasons why those things are the way they are, and a lot of times things get knocked off walls. So we all do our best to investigate that, and I totally get the spirit of it and the request. So I want to thank our community members for coming to us, and especially Connected Community Members. That was a community member that actually hosted one of our first coffees in home. So I just love to see people continuing to be engaged. That was years ago. And then last, just thank you again. We do. I can say it all day long, but your focus on our district, man, it makes a huge difference, a gift to us. So thank you. Appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper. And so that moves us seamlessly into item number 15, board commentary. And I think we'll put our own St. X bomber on the mat.
That's right.
Mr. Galvin.
Well, Dr. Cooper, you know, you got me, you caught me off guard there with your affection for my alma mater and the Men for Others. But I really enjoyed watching our sports radio team broadcast that event and see, you know, that's no small undertaking, you know, to coordinate that just from our side of the fence to coordinate the scheduling in a way that makes sense, that works, that's, you know, not overly disruptive to the students and the staff schedules and the lesson planning and stuff. And then for the students, you know, you kind of cross your fingers that you know, you have school on the Friday before a long holiday and you don't have a crazy winter weather day. And so we're fortunate that went through. And then for the black hole and the students that filled that gymnasium and really made it a you know, an exceptional environment for the wrestling team. And then for the wrestlers themselves to show up and perform the way that they did, it was, you know, I don't get to a lot of the wrestling matches, but so being able to watch those through the sports radio broadcast, that was really fun. But yeah, then, you know, credit where it's due to St. X for not shying away from a challenge, for showing up in a hostile environment. Choosing hard, as my favorite college football coach Marcus Freeman would say, and going to where the competition is, and you know, frankly, taking a couple of duels on the chin, but that's how you get better, and that's how you prove that what your medal is. And I know that will serve them well, just like it'll serve our team well in the long run as they head towards the preseason or the postseason. Excuse me. So. Well done. Proud to be a Man for Others and a Bomber. In the same spirit of athletic competition, the swim team had a great showing over the weekend at the Southwest Coaches Classic. I think that there's something over like 2,000 swimmers or something. I could be wrong, but they compete at 11 different sites during preliminaries throughout the entire Southwest Ohio district. From Anderson up to Dayton, up to Beaver Creek, and a bunch of places in between. Our school hosts one of those sites. Miami University hosts 2 sites, I think. And that's a competition that I think has been going for 42 years now. And I think St. X has won it all, at least going back the last 42 that they've held it. Our girls won the girls competition this weekend, and they had a very strong showing with several individual event winners. And what's cool about this event is when you get into the postseason, just like cross country, track, whatever, and you split off into the different divisions, so you don't always get to necessarily, you know, compete against the fastest kids because it's determined by the size of your school and whatnot. This brings, you know, Southwest Ohio has typically punched above its weight in the postseason with swimming and with other sports as well. But this brings together all of the kids across all of the different divisions, and so you really get to compete against the best of the best. And so for our girls to win that competition was very impressive, but our boys came up almost breaking a 41-year streak. I think it was within 20 points of St. X, and they actually won the first relay. It was a 400 medley relay. Got a pretty excited start to that meet there as well. So I think we've all seen the success that our boys basketball team has had. We had a very exciting, dramatic comeback win for our girls against Princeton last week, and erasing a 17-point deficit, scoring I think 8 points in the last 36 seconds there. So I know hockey had their senior night and bowling. I saw some posts about bowling team doing big things as well. So excited to see all of our winter sports rocking, extracurriculars as well. I've heard from some kids and participants doing the competitive well, still sports, you know, competitive cheer, and our dance team is performing. Our academic teams are going up against kids. Our Model UN, list goes on and on. But very, very fun to see everybody hitting their stride as we round the winter sports calendar. I also wanted to commend you and Sean for being proactive on the market analysis, for making sure that our staff is in a good spot and being creative with the solutions that you've come up with. And I'm excited for our staff to enjoy some of the new things that we are able to approve for them, and just to honor the work that they've done, and look forward to others that might be able to enjoy those benefits as well. And then I also just wanted to acknowledge and thank Mr. Coleman for coming and speaking tonight. I know we'll probably hear about that and talk about it in the facilities committee. And I would encourage, to the extent that anybody else in our community has concerns, questions, you don't have to wait for a board meeting like this. Definitely, I would start locally, and to the extent that you're not feeling like you're being heard or being seen, work your way up the chain there, and find us on our emails and our personal cell phones. At least the 5 of us. All of that information is on our website. We are, I think, a pretty responsive board in my experience, that loves to connect people with resources, loves to solve problems for people, and loves to try and break bottlenecks when there seems like some low-hanging fruit and some opportunities to make all of our community's experiences better with our schools. So that's all for me tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Galvin. Mrs. Timmons, number 2.
First of all, what a treat to listen to United Sound tonight and see them in action. I am a band kid. I played the oboe poorly for 5 or 6 years. And I know what a gift music was to me, not just in the actual joy of playing, but the friendships that I made. So I just love seeing this opportunity showing up in our schools, and I'm so thankful for Henry to have the initiative to take it, and sidebar, thankful for the culture that surrounded him all these years that made him see this and think, yeah, I can do this at my school. I am fully capable of bringing this idea and seeing it as a possibility. So just really, really proud of them and the work that's being done there. Christine, thank you for kicking off the SIS transition. Power School transition is no joke. There is a lot going on there, and I know you doing it thoughtfully makes me feel super confident that we're going to be in a great place at the end of this. So I'm really excited about that. And finally, I'm just super thankful and want to express my gratitude for the organizations that push into our schools, especially in wellness, when we talk about Love Like JJ and Shine Like Sable, help sponsoring these 2 new service dogs, Schools Foundation sponsoring classroom initiatives. I'm just very grateful for the work that's being done to support our students and to support our staffs. So thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you, Mrs. Timmons. Mrs. Batchy?
You're welcome. I know I shout out to Henry, but I think it's worth mentioning one more time that just a presence, and I looked at his graduation year, so he's only a junior. My eyesight's not great. I'm like, is he graduated? Is he, leading this charge as alumni? No, he's a junior. So just so impressed with the foundation, the groundwork, the prep. But not only that, the other side is the caring culture and what the school does to receive the ideas and put the wheels into motion to make it happen. So that was just incredible. I love it. And that's a small piece, I know, of the big picture, but it's a beautiful piece. And like Charles, I just wanted to mention Mr. Coleman coming here tonight, and I just appreciate the thoughtful preparation, the respectful presentation, and it's just a great way to affect change when you see something, say something. Also, I feel like that is just a big part of our culture here. We are all very, very humble leaders, and anyone who has a concern, we are more than willing to listen and process ways to make things better. And third, I just want to thank you all, because you make our jobs so much easier. I was just thinking, this is probably my 7th book, because this is my 7th year. And I love it because, you know, my son he enlisted in the Army, and he took all the books when I was finished, and he read all the leadership books, and he just got deployed. So when I'm done with this, I'll mail it to him, so thank you.
Thank you, Desiree. Vice President Steele.
Yeah, quickly jump on the bandwagon again and congratulate Henry and thank him for his leadership as a band and choir kid myself. Just knowing, and like Mrs. Jones mentioned, just the gift that making music with other people is, everybody should be able to experience that. And so thank you for making that happen for students that wasn't possible here before in Mason. And Eric, thanks for shouting out Matt. I want to also shout out Henry's mom, Katie, who is an art teacher here in Mason. And just, I was thinking the same thing, that Henry standing up there and sharing those words and inspiring other students to do this, active service and engagement. They're doing some things right as parents, and so that's inspiring too. And we're glad to have them inspiring our students here too, that aren't their offspring children in the classroom. So thank you for their service too. And quickly, we do joke that we kind of squirm up here in our seats at the January meeting on board appreciation night or whatever. But Jonathan, I appreciate you bringing a spirit of reflection, because it is a good opportunity to just kind of reflect on what it does mean to serve in this capacity. And we had an opportunity, like you mentioned earlier in our work session, to reflect on some investments that we started to make about 10 years ago and kind of checking in on what that means for our district today. And that's incredibly, that's just really, the word is escaping me, but it's rewarding to see that work play out in a very real way, and to be able to reflect back and see how that's impacted in a good way the students and families and teachers in our district over that time. And it's an honor to be a part of this work. And like Desiree said, you all make it easy, but it's still an honor, even as easy as it is, given all your great work. So thank you for the time to reflect. It's a joy and honor to serve. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, the joy of going last is that you get to just say everybody sounded so brilliant and smart and said all the things because they did. And I am deeply grateful for the 4 of you. I've had the opportunity now to serve with 6 board members, and the cohesion that exists even when we change board members is remarkable. I think a lot of districts probably get a little jealous that we are low drama, low stress, and we just continue to make keep the main thing, which is our students and our staff. So the wellness initiative's amazing. And I think everybody does their work with the same spirit of humility and service. So it makes it really easy. I'm always struck by how quickly we come back from a month off and boom, and everybody finds the stride and the groove and is well prepared and has a vision to not only close the year really strong, but what comes in the summertime and what comes to start the school year. I mean, we are deep into planning for the 26-27 school year. So I'm just always grateful for the vision of this district, which kind of leads me to the thing I just kind of want to leave with was we got the day off yesterday because of a man who I probably think is the greatest living American ever, Dr. King, and he was a man of vision, and people will always cite his I Have a Dream speech, but he gave a speech before that talking about going to the mountaintop. And it was there that he said, hey, I see this vision and I might not get there with you, but it's really important that we all scale the mountain. And what I heard today from Henry Horning was him scaling his mountain, right? He used the education and the opportunities that he had and his love for music, and he saw something. And he had a vision to say, I think I can do that here. And with him doing that has positively impacted so many students and so many families. And so if we could live that example of each getting to our own personal mountaintops to see the vision, which is always people, by the way, spoiler alert, it's always people, it's always caring and serving people, we would be in a much better place. And I'm grateful to serve in a district that gives not only students, but staff members the opportunities and the skills and the tools to climb their mountains so that they can see the vision, so that they can do things like what that young man did for all these students. So deeply grateful for all of you and all the work that you guys do in making that a reality here at Mason City Schools. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.